One of the popular contemporary interview topics is what is non-fungible tokens? And let us explain you the concept with the help of 4 currency notes. I have 250 rupee notes, a brand new 100 rupee note and a crumpled old 100 rupee note. To understand what is a non-fungible token, it's important to first understand what is the meaning of fungible any product in an economic situation. So I have this 100 rupee note over here. Is it unique? Is it something very special? And the answer is no. If I were to give this 100 rupee note to you and then you were to give this 100 back to me, they are both quite similar. Therefore, in some sense, they are interchangeable. Anything which is fungible is interchangeable. The first virtue of fungibility. Secondly, a fungible thing is divisible. If I were to ask you to exchange this 100 rupee note with these 250 rupee notes, again, you'll be open to the idea because they are divisible to smaller units. 100 rupee is of the same value as the smaller divided units of 250 rupees. There is no difference in their value. And finally, a minor change in physical appearance, which means if I were to compare this old soiled 100 rupee note compared to this brand new crisp note, they still have the same value. This is the concept of fungibility, which is defined by something which is really not affected even if it is divided into smaller units. Even if it is interchanged with something else, its value remains the same. And finally, even if there is some or small kind of physical damage to it, it won't get affected. Anything which will lose its value because of these 3 things is going to be a non-fungible token. So let's explain the concept of non-fungibility by telling you the 3 virtues which can be called as UPI. U means it should be unique. Therefore, one particular device, one particular item, one particular object cannot be comparable with anything else. Let's take the example of your mobile phone. Let's assume you have a Samsung mobile phone. Now, while there are millions of Samsung mobile phones around the world, but your phone is unique. It's only yours. Your history, your chat, your apps are quite unique to you. Therefore, there is no other mobile phone in the world which is similar to your Samsung mobile phone. A non-fungible token is unique and is therefore not comparable to anything else. Number 2, proven rarity, exclusivity. The non-fungible tokens are supposed to be not very universally available in masses. So therefore, an item which is having some unique value is also going to be something which is scarce, rare, and not very popular. For example, one of the greatest moments in Indian cricket was when Yuvraj Singh hit 6 sixes. When Mahendra Singh Dhoni hit that 6 which helped India win the World Cup. A video clip of this, as held by the original copyright holder, is something which is very rare. A Michael Jordan shirt or Sachin Tendulkar signed bat. In the real world, these items may be rare. In a digital world, their digital transcripts could be very rare. So anything which is non-fungible is also required to be rare, and the rarity should be proven. And third is, it is something which is not indivisible. I mean, basically, so if it gets divided, its value will get sort of destroyed. So a small picture, a video reel, which has a certain value will only have it when it is being used as it is. A Mona Lisa picture, were you to divide it into 2, a picture of, let's say, the Last Supper, if they were to be divided, their value would again get destroyed. So non-fungible tokens are characterized by UPI, which is that they are unique, they have proven rarity, and they are indivisible. Now, let's talk about the more practical context, a kind of question which could come in the interview. What is a non-fungible token? A non-fungible token is essentially a unit of data on a digital ledger. This data could be in the form of picture, a meme, an anime, Anything which can be stored and converted into a digital medium can therefore become a potential NFT. And it is tokenized because then a unique code is issued through the blockchain technology so that it becomes a special, singular, unique thing in itself. So let's say an example of a picture of Mona Lisa, and assuming that were it to be digitized and owned by the Louvre Museum as a copyright, then the museum could actually sell this picture without having to sell the underlying copyrights. And if this Mona Lisa digital picture is sold to you, you then get an exclusive blockchain code which authenticates that you are the owner. Therefore, NFT have three practical characteristics. Number one, a unique ownership, because in your personal blockchain encrypted code, you will get the code and you get the ownership. Number two, they are transparent. So to that extent, the risk of plagiarization could be lower because various database ledgers across computer networks would have record of these transactions which are happening. And number three, they are interoperable, which means suppose you're a game player, a PUBG player, a Fortnite player, and you win some precious weapon or some precious antique which is part of that game. So you got the digital picture and you could use it everywhere so far as the digital world is concerned. And therefore, interoperability across various digital platforms is another unique feature of non-fungible tokens. Now, the question you may ask is that why have they become so popular in recent times? So, well, the answer lies in the fact that very recently, and when I say recent, I mean for about last 4 years or so, the concept of digitizing asset, specifically in the field of art, memes, pictures, has gained prevalence because artists want to convert their real physical piece into a digital version and sell it without having to sell the underlying copyrights of ownership. And this is something because of which the digital artist could gain greater revenue and still be able to enjoy royalties every time this unit is sold. And as an example, the reason of popularity is also because as cryptocurrencies have gained popularity and keeping the risk part there because the risk factor is very high, the propensity of the general masses to go ahead and make investment in digital assets, irrespective of the risk, has gradually been increasing. This is something which has led to them becoming very popular. A lot of big names. There is talk about various Bollywood actors, various sportsmen launching their very legendary moments, legendary clips, and digitizing them as an NFT. So, finally, the question is, should you be investing in NFTs? And the answer is something which I can't tell you because you have to take your own call. However, a serious caveat has to be kept in mind that at times these digital or virtual assets carry a disproportionate amount of risk associated with them. They may be out of fashion. The digital picture that you bought could suddenly no longer be wanted by anyone, and there could be government regulations in future which may have very serious implications for the valuation of the asset. So keeping all these risks in mind, you may have to take your call. But now, coming back to an interview question, what do you know about NFTs? So let us use the GOBA-CHAC-LE technique to answer it as follows. Sure, sir. Happy to answer that. NFTs are a short form for non-fungible token, and these are nothing but units of data which are kept on digital ledgers using the blockchain technology. The three important characteristics can be called UPI. A non-fungible asset is going to be unique so that there is no similar others. It has a proven rarity because this item is not available in masses. There is no infinite supply. There is some real rare component attached to it. And finally, it is something which is indivisible. And therefore, if you divide it, its value won't remain what it was earlier. So I sincerely believe that the concept of NFT has taken the idea of using internet for transactions to a different level and can be used by some artist or content creator to ensure that they enjoy royalties, are able to sell it while still keeping the copyrights with them. However, as it stands, there are three very serious risks attached to it. Number one, there is no fundamental asset or no fundamental valuation against which NFTs valuations are pegged. So it is something which is more because of the vogue, the fashion. Number two, we can expect in future various government regulations which could affect the valuation of NFTs. And number three, at the end of the day, it's a blockchain unit of data which is kept, and therefore there is a risk of potential fraud, of potential cheating, or some kind of a scam in which you could be affected. But that being said, as times go ahead, we do expect that governments will intervene and evolve the concept so that digital transaction of digital assets could be a very interesting marketplace in times to come. So these are my thoughts. I hope it satisfies your query. So my dear friends, this was a brief tutorial on NFT. Prepare on this topic because it is a very frequently asked question nowadays. Thank you.